a plagiarism scandal and a pending investigation about his academic qualifications and honorary appointments. Here's the lesson. Rather than making academia more inclusive and equitable, DEI has exposed just how corrupt the whole enterprise has become.
AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, we got somebody. I love this topic of conversation here. So Tyson, Illinois Tyson plant closing, Caterpillar, Boeing. I mean, the list is astronomical. The little Morton Salt girl, all of it gone. It's a ghost town out there for the honest business. So who exists? The fraudulent business. You know who knows that? Bill, LaSalle County.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. You know, part of the problem with the Tyson plant is under the Biden administration, they restricted the grazing lands for the cattle farmers across the country in the western states. But that's a different story. But look at
44 million acres. 44 million acres they stole from America. Yeah.
And look at how much money Illinois taxpayers have given to Rivian Electric Motor Car Company at the former Diamond Star factory in Bloomington Normal. We've given them $840+ million. And the kicker, here's the real kicker. All the new Amazon Prime electric vehicles that you see on the street in Illinois, they're all Rivian. Yeah. So we're funding Rivian Electric to keep them afloat, and then we're giving, and due to that, we're giving big tax breaks to Jeff Bezos.
Yes, you are. That's the game as which it is schemed up by the Democrats who want to pretend that that's a car company. In fact, you're also forgetting, Bill. Not that you're forgetting, but you're $75 million from the get-go in capital infrastructure grants and job training funds. Did you know that? So aside from the number you said, which I think it's $827 billion, and on top of that, $75 million directly from the get. Here you go. Why don't we pretend you're a company? All right, can you pretend long enough that you're a company? It's really an example of the greatest grift since high-speed rail is that nonsense company. And you're exactly right with Bezos. However, if you look at the regulation, he was forced to take a percentage of his fleet EV, or they weren't going to let him build these his distribution centers. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was forced to do that.
It's kind of like the Rodney Dangerfield movie Back to School, where he's trying to explain to the business professor about the real cost of doing business and to set up a business, huh?
Exactly. And not one moron Democrat, not one moron who's running to be the mayor outside of that lovely girl Carter. Not one of the morons is going to talk about the $600 million between two frauds, two scams. The fraud company to this favorite healthcare, whatever the hell they're called, and Ghetto Loretto Hospital. Two scams, $600 million. And nobody's going to say a fracking word. You got to love it, Bill, because they're so stupid that it's almost fun to watch them running around in a circle. Thank you very much. Glenn, Orlando.
Shaun, who was the last Democrat that knew what a woman was?
Bill Clinton. And he kept taking his pants off in front of him.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
The last Democrat.
Hey, he took the official line from Melrose Park. Just kiss it. Kiss it. Remember Paula Jones? That cost him $820,000. John, Garfield Ridge.
Hey, Shaun. Happy Friday, brother. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for making it.
Yeah. You know, Shaun, just to echo what you were saying a minute ago a little bit, these Democrats have never had a policy that works. Never one that's ever been rooted in common sense or practicality, and yet they walk around with an arrogance, a pompousness, a self-righteousness that's unparalleled. You know, how much more insufferable would they be, Shaun, if they had the courage or the decency to articulate at least one policy?
Oh, I just had a conversation with a kid I grew up with who I liked. I haven't seen him in 40 years. Nice kid from the neighborhood, big kid. He went to the other grade school, and his dad was a shyster, real estate shyster, and they got in very early on in the green energy movement. He moves out to Minnesota. They got the wind fracking nonsense. Now, years ago, when I rekindle, like, when Asshat first comes out, Facebook, he sends me a thing. We're friends, whatever. And he comments on one of my videos about Melrose Park and this stuff. And I said, hey, how's that scam going for the windmill? You still running that scam? It's a little tough now that the money isn't. But you just reminded me, this is how they lived. They knew. And when I say they, he's a big time, you can imagine, Democrat. Big time donor and the rest of it. They knew the whole time it was a fracking scam. And they would go to Tom's Steakhouse with their big fat ass and sit on the bar stool and pretend to be a businessman. You're not a businessman. You're a front. You're a fraud. You exist because of corruption itself. You're not a man. You know who a man is? The guy behind the bar. The guy busting his ass making the drinks. And the bar back bringing the booze. They're twice the man you are. With your big fancy watch on, your Cadillac in the parking lot. You're just a scumbag, a limp-wristed, half-assed wannabe gangster who cannot pay his car bill without a scam going on. They're called Democrats, John, and it's been like that for 80 years. We'll be back.
This is the Shaun Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.
Picture this. Bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded. 2 outs. And the IRS is on the hill